I'm going to pick a candle. That's how we're going to start.
Is that how we're starting? Cool. Okay. So pink is unconditional love.
Okay.
Romance. Affection, warmth, joy, friendship, self-love, happiness, forgiveness, and reconciliation.
Oh.
So that is actually a really good pick. That's what I used at the open house.
Okay. Nice. Okay. So what is the order of operations when we're doing candle magic?
So the simplest thing with candle magic is that it's simple. You can literally just start off with just a candle and a stand, but you don't even have to have a stand. You can just melt the bottom of the candle and stick it on a plate and it will stay up. It doesn't have to be complicated. I think a lot of times that people get overly complicated when it comes to candle magic. It really is just as simple as setting an intent, whatever it is that you are looking forward to, like what you want to do, and lighting a candle and letting that intent go out into the world. For myself personally, I start off always asking for the goddess's help, asking her to bless the candle so that, you know, that's extra energy going into the world. That's what I personally do. And then I ask to make sure that it is for the highest, best good.
Amazing.
And when you say goddess, who are we talking about?
Mine is just a general goddess. I actually, I deal with a lot of goddesses and gods. So when I'm going for the goddess, when it comes to candle magic, that's the earth goddess, and the goddess of fire, because obviously it's the two combined, right? So that's what I do when I ask for the intent of the goddess. So most of the time I think it would come as the general goddess, almost like God. But with me, it's just got that little bit of spin because I mix some other goddesses in there.
And was that something that you've always done, or was that something that your grandma taught you?
No, my grandma was strictly with the one goddess.
Okay.
Like she followed the one goddess. I think she had a little bit of God in there too, like a little bit of religion, but that's just because that was the time. I think as time went on, I got more and more interested in other gods and goddesses and what they exactly do. I'm very interested in the Greek gods, but I'm also very interested in the Korean and the Japanese as well. I feel a very big calling to Asia in general. I don't know if that I lived there in a past life for sure. I have a feeling I did, but I don't know for sure. I keep meaning to even pull my own Akashic records, but everybody asked me to do it, so I end up doing theirs instead of mine. So I do, and Egyptian too. There's the Egyptians, right? And sometimes the Nordic gods come in as well, and the Celtic gods, and you know, like I keep it broad because you never know. You never know.
Yeah. It's interesting that you generalize it just by saying goddess, because to me, when you're saying things like that, I'm thinking like either Gaia or Pele for fire, or
Brigitte,
even
Bridget.
Right.
Yeah.
But to
Hestia,
generalize it, just kind of
because in my mind I'm thinking of them, all of them, right? So for when I'm doing the spell, when I say it out loud, I just say goddess because I'm thinking it in my brain. So I'm thinking in my head, I'm calling upon them. So I just encompass them all into one. That's just easier. Otherwise, I'd be sitting there doing,
of course,
100 million.
Yeah. And because it's for the greatest and highest good, the right ones are going to come in for the intention that you set.
They know. Yeah. They know which ones batter up, you know?
Right.
Like they know.
Right. It's not up to you to decide.
No.
That's cool.
As much as I would like to think that I could say, okay, you know, like Aphrodite, come forward, because that would be who we would normally associate with a pink candle. She might just say, that's not my problem. And, you know, like, let's do somebody else instead. So I just encompass one. Like I encompass them all. And then the right one comes, I think.
Cool. And especially if you're doing it for a specific person
Exactly.
and a specific intent, right?
Exactly. Because
That's
you
neat.
never know, like we have the pink candle out right now, which is great, but the red candle is completely different. Or the green candle is different.
Yeah.
So you can't call in the same god or goddess for that like that different aspect. Like the past little while, for some reason, and I'm not sure why, but Hecate has been like calling me like crazy. So I don't know what it is, but even it's getting so big that it's encompassing into friends of mine too. They would go online and they'd be like, who's this? And I'm like, that's Hecate. Why are you looking at her? So I don't know what's up with that one. Haven't figured it quite out yet, but I'm working on it.
Cool.
So yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, so it doesn't really matter. So does it matter on the color that we use? Or is it really just the intention?
I think so. Like example, the orange. I'm sorry, I have references here just because my memory is like a sieve. This is for good luck, intellect, careers, networking, legal affairs, joy, stimulating energy.
Cool.
So you want to do that, light an orange, and then set that intent. Say it out loud, say it in your mind, however it is you're most comfortable, then you light it.
Got it.
Don't light it until you set the intent.
Okay.
And that's the biggest thing. If you can, and you're not in a rush, if you can let the candle burn down on its own, that's better, but it doesn't have to be. Again, I forgot my candle snuffer, but try not to blow the candle out unless you get very close and blow it out from there. Because by blowing it out, you're mixing you're blowing the energy. You're
stopping it too soon.
Exactly.
Got it.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, but if you want an all-purpose general candle, that's white.
Okay.
So if you want, I don't have any white, but if you didn't have colored, you can always just go to Dollarama or wherever and pick yourself up a white candle and set the same intent.
Does it matter the substance of the candle? Like, does it need to be soy? Beeswax would work.
These ones are soy.
Yeah.
But that, like, I don't know. Everybody's different, right? So, just for me personally, I have a pet bird, so I can't use anything else but soy and beeswax candles. So that's all you'll see me use. But I just like the way they burn better. They burn just nicer, almost smoother.
Share why you buy those candles?
Oh, these ones? Yes. Okay. So these candles, they're smokeless, dripless, and scentless. So that's a very big thing. But the best part about it is they're actually made in Germany. So Germany is always, or that area of the world is sort of the birthplace of paganism. I think it sort of started there in that sort of area and then kind of branched out. I mean, I think it's always been around for as long as man has been alive. We've always felt the need to worship something.
That's a good point.
Like even cavemen, when you go and you look in a cave with cavemen,
they're
drawing goddesses and gods on the...
That's right.
Because they want an explanation to why things are the way they are.
Yes.
Right? So you see the sun, you know what the sun does. Oh, there must be something up there, right? So we got to draw. We got to make a god out of it. So yeah.
That's a very good point.
Yeah. So a lot of the sources for paganism come from England, Germany, and that sort of thing, like around the time of Christ and all that, So that's why I prefer these. They've been in business a really long time.
Cool.
So yeah, I don't think I've ever used another candle besides these.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's cool.
We'll link them in the caption.
Oh, yes,
link them in the
absolutely.
caption,
Yeah.
100%.
And the other best part about these is you can get a mix box, and you can get white, or you can get just solids.
Got it.
I like the mix box because then you're getting a little bit of everything, so you can do whatever kind of spell you want to do, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's fun.
That's great.
Yeah.
I've seen others put oil and herbs on their candles.
Yep. Yeah.
Is that imperative? I noticed that we don't have that set up.
Well, because today we just wanted to start off with something pretty basic.
Yeah.
So I will engrave on the sides of candles. I will, if it's a one word that I'm looking for my intent to be, say money or whatever, I personally never asked for money, but I'll write it on the side so that it's burning down. And yes, you can put oils on it. You can put herbs around it. My area at home has like a whole thing. Like it's, but we wanted to start pretty basic today. Hopefully,
perfect. And this is enough.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right?
That's all you need.
Yeah. Okay. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I think that people overthink it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that people overthink what candle magic really is.
Mm-hmm.
So, and really, if you didn't have anything else but a red candle, it doesn't matter. Set that damn intent, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's still going to work.
Mm-hmm.
So, the colors help, sure, but not imperative.
Okay.
At least that's the way I look at things.
Yeah.
You're going to find your other witches that are just like, but you got to relax.
Let it flow.
Yeah.
However it needs to. Cool.
It's supposed to be fun and creative, and you're supposed to feel good about it afterwards, not stressed to the nines. Like.
So did your grandmother who taught you, did she feel that way, or is that more of how you feel? Like, was she a little more
She was more rigid, yeah.
Rigid?
It's a generational thing, right? So after she passed on what she did to me, I took that and I went and did my own thing with it, which I'm sure she probably did too.
Mm-hmm.
She would discover things because you have your book. People call it the grimoire, the book of shadows, or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
Where you write, it's basically a diary, right, of your witchcraft.
Mm-hmm.
So you write what you find. So as you go, as my time went on, I found out different things that she didn't know.
Right.
So there's new discoveries and different things, and so I would find out and I'd write them in my book.
Right.
So I'll take my book and then eventually I'll give it to my daughter someday, and hopefully she'll write in it.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Amazing. Pass it along.
I hope.
Yeah.
I don't want it to die off with me.
No, definitely not. Which is
Spend
also
a lot of time doing this.
Yeah.
No.
And that's also why we're doing these videos too, right?
Yeah.
Pass it along.
I hope. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would really if anybody wants to learn, I'd love to teach. It's,
Mm-hmm. Very cool. So what's the next step here?
So are you going to do this? Or are you?
I'm up for it. Absolutely.
Okay. So as we already discussed what the intent is for a pink candle, but that's up to you whether or not you want to do, for that.
Okay.
You can choose, if you want to choose a god or a goddess, go ahead. If you don't, and you just want to set that intent out into the world, do that too. I think it doesn't really matter, really, right? It's what you're putting out there. So yeah, what you focus, you have to sort of say to yourself or say out loud that you're okay, so now we're back to a different thing, is that sometimes I will draw a circle, counterclockwise to start and then clockwise to close. So but it all depends on the spell and how powerful the spell is going to be and what your intent is. If it's just a general spell like we're doing today, I wouldn't bother with all that.
Okay.
So yeah, so right now, you want to create the intent of what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it carefully. And most importantly, make sure it's detailed.
Okay.
Because as we found, like as a few people found out at our open house when I was doing card pulls, or not card pulls, but the pendulum,
Mm-hmm.
they would ask a very general question.
Vague.
Well, you would get a very vague answer.
Right, right.
The more detail you put into the question or the intent, the better.
Got it.
Okay?
What's the most common intention for someone maybe viewing this video that they might want to set for their first spell?
Well, I'm going to tell you right now is that just always remember that what you put out, you get back. So
Where's a safe place to start then?
I would just start with good health.
Yeah.
You know, good health and start there. Don't start trying to. You guys know I've been doing this for a really long time. The majority of people that come to me for spells love spells, and I don't do them. I don't do them. Never have, never will. I don't believe in trying to control somebody's free will.
Got it.
So that's just me personally. I'm sure there's other witches. Go see them. I don't, you know, like that's up to you.
Yep.
And I honestly don't do money spells either. Why? Because where's that money coming from?
That's right.
Right? Like I've seen it where people will do money spells because they're so strapped for cash, and they'll be like, I really need money. Don't their parents die? And suddenly they got money.
Right.
But do you really want that? Is
No.
that how you want to go about doing it?
No, you don't.
You know, do you want to get money, but you want to earn it, so you want a job? Now that's totally different, right? You want a job, but you want a job that, you know, like nobody's losing a job for.
That's
right. But that's something you can come into to earn that money yourself.
Right, right. Can you remind us again what the pink candle?
So pink is unconditional love.
Okay.
It's romance, affection, warmth, joy, friendship, self-love, happiness, forgiveness, reconciliation, and intimacy.
And you shouldn't say your intention out loud?
No, you can.
You can?
Yeah, I do. But you don't have to. Like you can say it in your mind. Like it's fine. I say it out loud just so, you know, whoever's listening can hear it.
Yeah.
Better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, you know, because the mind is a very clouded thing. And there's always lots going on. So sometimes if you can say it out loud, that's a double intent, I call it. So you're saying, not only are you thinking it, but you're saying it out loud too. And sometimes in candle spells, I'll write it down. I'll write it on a piece of paper, fold the piece of paper up, light the candle, then burn the paper. And then the intent goes into the...
That's cool.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, I would like to set my intention that anyone viewing this video fills with self-love for the greatest and highest good.
That's lovely. That's a good one. Yes. So here at Raise Your Vibe, there are ghosts. So after a while, every time I light a candle here, there it goes already. They like to come play with the candle. So we might see that. Yeah, we'll see.
And just like, there's no cross breeze, there's nothing going on. So yeah, we might be speaking towards the candle, but seeing the dancing of the flame is what you're talking about when they're playing.
I mean, you can manipulate it.
Right. And what does manipulating the fire or the candle actually do?
Just intensifies sometimes.
Okay.
You have to be really careful. Like, I mean, you don't want to burn yourself, first of
No.
all. My hands are pretty tough because I've been doing this for a while.
Now, I'm feeling like I want to send love to the candle, which would help send love to anyone viewing the video.
Absolutely.
Does that make sense? So in the practice that I do is Qigong, which is about cultivating my own energy, my own vitality. And then we also do Reiki and stuff here too.
Yes, we
so
do,
it's kind of a combination of both. So using the earth energy and pulling it up from the earth through my feet, through my knees, through my hips, all the way into my heart, and then out my hands, just like Reiki. And just setting that intention, that shaking that you're seeing is just kind of the love trying to come through. Setting that intention that anyone that sees the video, views, feels that self-love.
So you can see the candle is thinning and coming up more with that intent.
Mm-hmm. Now, is there anything, should we hold the intention in our minds as we watch the flame? Is it something that you can walk away from and just let it burn?
Well, I wouldn't walk away from flame, but
No.
They burn quickly.
Mm-hmm.
You could also, if you didn't really have too much time, you could cut the candle so it won't burn as long. The longer that you can let the candle burn, the more intent going in out, right? So you cut it short, you're not going to get as much intent. But if you leave the candle burning, you can watch it.
Mm-hmm.
I will often meditate while the candle's burning, just watch it. Because if you look into the flames, you can see things. Well, at least I can. I don't know. But people can, like anybody can do it.
Mm-hmm. You look at something long enough and you start to see it a little differently, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you just sort of, like, it's like, I remember when we read the book, in the book it said to blur your eye.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing that for a long time in the flame. So you just blur your eye just that little bit, and then you see beyond the flame.
Mm-hmm. And the book she's talking about is The Celestine Prophecy.
Thank you. Yes, I couldn't think of the name off the top of my head.
Yeah, really good book.
Yes.
James Redfield.
Very, very good book.
Mm-hmm. Lots of good insights in that book. 9 of them, to be precise.
Yes.
And so in terms of the spell, is there anything else that needs to be done?
Not for a simple spell.
So for this, it just has to burn down and the spell is done once it burns down.
And then if you can take whatever's left of the candle and bury it or put it into salt.
Okay.
Do you want to tell us the importance of burying things?
Well, you're putting it back into the ground. You're putting it back into the energy of the earth.
What's the importance of that?
Well, it's the earth is our essence. It's our energy. Everybody's energy comes from the earth.
Right.
We come from the earth. Like, really, like it's all in. So by putting that energy back into the earth, you're putting your hope or whatever it was into the earth so it can spread, right? Your intent. Thank you. Sorry, I forgot my word there. By putting it into the earth, and you're spreading that intent. So depending upon and that also comes, like, because I live in an apartment building, I don't really have a whole lot of places to go bury my candles, so I put them in salt. So it's the same thing, because the salt comes from the earth. Try to get raw salt if you can. And I just put them in there. You're still putting it back into the earth by doing that.
And then once it's in the salt, do you just put it in the garbage, or like?
I got a big jar.
Just a giant jar.
I
full
do.
Of...
Salted little itty bitty candles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I do.
That's a fun collection.
Now,
I will eventually bury it.
Yeah.
The whole thing, the
Yeah.
jar, everything, but I have to find a spot to do. It's not full yet, so. But when I've lived in houses before, like I would just go in the backyard and bury it before. So, but now that I'm in the apartment, I just have a big jar.
And holding on to them, that doesn't, because it's in the salt, it's buried
Doesn't do
enough.
anything.
It doesn't
Yeah.
prolong anything.
When before I open the jar, I'll always ask for to keep the intent in
Got it.
instead of trying to.
Got it.
Because you want to keep it in the earth.
That's right. Cool. That's amazing. At the end of this, so we bury it and everything else, we just trust that it's happened. We don't need to go back and continue to do it over and over again.
If you feel like it.
Right.
Why not?
Right.
It's just more intent going out there. Sometimes it works, and then sometimes it doesn't. And then you have to kind of look at yourself internally and figure out why that spell didn't work. There's many different reasons why a spell didn't work. Maybe you worded it wrong. Or the way you worded it, it did happen, but you didn't realize because of the way that it was worded.
Got it.
So the intent is so important. Like
Right.
it's so important to make sure you've got
The right words.
the right words.
Right.
Yeah. Like what you said was just general basics, so it's going to work.
Yeah.
But whether or not the people that you've aimed it for are going to receive it,
That's up to
want
them.
to receive that, yes.
That's right.
still up to them.
Got it.
Because you don't want to take free will away from people.
That's
It's
right.
not.
No, definitely not.
No.
I just want that unconditional love
Absolutely.
of the candle to be felt.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. That's cool. Interesting. Don't know why I picked the pink one, but it definitely feels like it's the right one. That's for sure. Just allowing the intuition to guide, right?
Yeah, I think that's really important as well. Is that it's okay if you think you know what spell you want to do, but then you start doing it, and then you realize, wait, that's not what I'm supposed to be doing right now.
Got it.
I've done that thousands of times, where you start a spell and then it's like, whoa, wait a minute, that's not what I'm supposed to be doing right now. So you have to go with your gut. Like people need to listen to themselves. They really need to listen to themselves. Don't just sit there and just start a spell and then go, well, I've already started this, so I got to finish it. No, if it's not right and it's not working, stop. Because you're not setting the proper intent. Like you're just, letting it go out into the world. But
Right.
your mind's not really into it. Your heart's not into it. And more importantly, your soul's not into it. So,
And all three need to be aligned.
absolutely.
It's a good point.
Yes.
That's a very good point.
Yeah. If you can meditate before you do spells, that's really helpful. I'll often do that. Or listen to some music, like we have in the background here, to get your mind into the right space. Don't do spells if you're upset. You're like, don't. Like there was lots of times when, example, when my mom died, the first thing I wanted to do is go run and do a spell. Not the best time to do a spell.
Got it.
Because it's just, you're going to mess it.
You want to feel centered.
And more importantly, you want to make sure that you're happy. Because if you're not happy inside and you're not positive, then that spell is just going to come out wrong. So, like I've said before, this is all just my perspective on things.
Right.
But yeah.
Is it because emotions change your vibration?
Yeah, absolutely. But it also changes the intent. So if you were going to go and do a spell, again, I don't do them, but a love spell, but you're upset yourself, but you're doing the spell for somebody else, you're just going to put your emotions onto that spell.
Got it.
So it's not going to work.
Right.
It's not going to work, and then it's, you've just wasted.
Or a money spell coming from a place of lack.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah. If you're so desperate for money, and you wish for money, yeah, you get your money, but how are you going to get that money?
Right. Yeah.
Where is it going to come from?
That's right.
Like it doesn't come out of thin air. It comes from somewhere.
Right.
So you don't want you want to make sure you're in the right frame of mind. It's so important, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, coming from a grounded place.
Absolutely.
And again, our connection to the earth is important.
I love doing,
that.
if I can do spells outside, even better. Like I'll go and sit somewhere and, do a spell outside and it's even better, right? Because you're outside, you're putting it out there so much easier. Now, does it matter that is it going to work any better than one that you do inside? No, but I think that being outside brings more happiness to people. It clears your mind, right?
Yes, it does. Same with when we're doing Qigong. Qigong is supposed to be done outside in nature. It helps you ground better. It helps you free your stuck energy a little bit better, right? It's more flowing.
Yes.
It's more open.
Yes.
And it makes sense. It's the same for spells and witchcraft.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
That's cool. Amazing. Candle's still going, but I'm wondering, so you got information from your grandma. Have you been passing that information down to your family, to your kids?
My daughter is she's walking that path now. She has been sort of dabbling in it throughout her life, I've noticed. So she's definitely an empath. Like she picks up on people's energies very easily. So I am too, but I've learned to be able to channel it, to block it, to be able to center myself, whereas she's still learning. So the more I teach her, I think the better she is. She wasn't quite ready yet. I don't know how else to put that to you, to get the information from me. She had to go through the rebellion part of her.
Of course. Yeah.
And mom knows nothing.
That's right.
But now that she, she's past that, she's definitely more interested in learning more.
Can you give some tips as to how to protect your energy as an empath? Like, is there specific things that you do regularly or after feeling certain energies from different people?
Yeah, if I'm going into a very crowded, like I'm going to see a concert at the end of June, and there's going to be 50,000 people there. And first of all, before I even walk into that arena, I'll be grounding myself. Like it will be, and I don't care who sees me or, and it will be a full on, I'm going to sit down on that ground and I'm going to just stop. Like I'm just going to make sure my mind is clear. I also wear bracelets that are different stones that help you ground a lot better, and to protection for bracelet. Or I do have my Reiki necklace that helps me a lot. But my biggest thing is grounding. But I also carry a vial. It's going to sound weird, but a vial of dirt with me. It's usually in my purse. And if I'm starting to feel a little bit stressed, it comes, and I'll just hold it in my hand.
Got it.
That's
your grounding.
Yeah. Well, it's the ground, so yeah.
Yeah, it's the earth.
Yeah, it's the earth.
That's nice.
Yeah, or sand. Like I used to carry it before unfortunately the thing broke. I had sand from PEI. So I carried that with me because I've always had a huge connection to the island. So I carried the sand with me. And I've had water too. I've had like a little vial of water from a spring, like a pure water, not that's come through from the tap.
Right.
Yeah, or rainwater.
Nice.
Or a stone or something that's been a crystal that's I've allowed to sit in the moonlight. Gain some energy.
Those are great.
Yeah.
Very cool. Amazing. So we're going to let the candle burn all the way down and allow the spell, the candle magic, to do its thing. But we don't need to hold on to the video for that long. So
no, it'll be a while.
It'll be a while. So thank everyone for viewing. I hope that the self-love intention, that you felt that unconditional love that comes through. And we're going to continue to do these witchy podcasts. And
yeah, it's fun.
sharing Nell's teachings and her history and a little bit of love along the way. So it's all good. It's all one consciousness.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody for watching.
Thank you.